Hello and welcome back for Game 2, Team Liquid versus the Golden Guardians. Now, Team Liquid kind of wiggled their way into a victory yesterday against CLG, so for one of our top teams here, probably looking to show a bit more solid form today.
And once again, they selected red side here. We heard them talking about how they want to get a little bit more lane focused, and it feels like by going through this style where it's not just first pick GP for impact and let them go, they're much more focused on getting winning matchups with counter pick.
Yeah, and on red side, you're much more empowered to draft to play through top. It's also the way the Golden Guardians picked up their first victory was by counter picking the Illaoi at the end of the draft. So I think that would be why Team Liquid picked red side. It's becoming a little bit more common lately, even though for the large part in the split, most people select blue.
Yeah, and it's still good that they're getting all this focus on the top lane. We want to see them play through a little bit better, but they still feel like they need their bot lane to push them ahead to victory. That's kind of what happened last game, where they did have the Galio and the Camille, but they didn't really snowball topside or really make any plays up there until 30 minutes into the game, and it was Doublelift who was breaking his turret first.
Kind of got that insurance policy of Doublelift Olleh in the bot lane. Speaking of draft, though, this is a place where Golden Guardians might be able to make some moves or find some advantages.
Yeah, Optic actually tried something new against him yesterday, but by and large, Golden Guardians have been trying a lot of new stuff. They have a large amount of unique champions played across roles. Their one win, we just want to touch back on that, was the Camille jungle, the Illaoi top, and the Orianna in the mid lane. So, those are the things that they've been successful on, but I think they're going to continue to try a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, they have the Shen support down there as well. They just have an unbelievable amount of picks all around.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I would like to see Contractz on that Camille again. I thought the mechanical prowess he displayed there was quite superior to that of what he showed yesterday on Jax, and with kind of that ability to make plays from the jungle, actually find those advantages and help push them forward to a victory.
And they'll have a tall task because TL, we're talking about how they had a lot of those fastest game times early on in the split. Well, one of them was against Golden Guardians, who are still kind of in the middle of figuring out what their style was going to be.
Yeah, the fastest game in the split the last time these teams met up. Xmithie himself yesterday with a crazy warding statistics, so definitely going to make it hard for Contractz to find those avenues or pathways to ganks, if any. But as we kind of narrow in towards champion select, what would be something, aside from that Camille, for example, that Golden Guardians might be able to look for in champ select to find themselves some advantages?
It's pretty interesting. They have 7 unique mid picks, 7 unique jungle picks, and 7 unique support picks. And so while I appreciate that they're constantly trying some stuff, there's probably a couple of those that are more successful than the others. So like, yeah, Camille jungle is a unique pick. Try to get that a little bit, but it's tough in the current meta.
I think they should try and first pick Zoe. So a lot of blue side teams have been triple banning mid. We actually just saw it in the TSM clutch game. They triple banned and still left Zoe in his ear. Foiled. Unfortunately, Team Liquid gets to drive the draft as well. GP's also banned all the time now compared to last week, so you're not seeing the like Gnar and Vlads into the GP. Instead, you're just seeing Gnar blinded into some other kind of
It's really weird to see that kind of transition that's happened where it's no longer the GP metagame where it's like you pick GP or you counter GP. Here it feels like the Gnar, and people have been leaving Camille up, which leads to that counter pick existing, and Camille's still disgusting. I mean, we saw that last game.
I wonder if you even first pick a Camille. Like, they just banned Gnar, which I think would be best against it.
I think Golden Guardians...
Ornn, rather.
I think Golden Guardians can, just with the extra flexibility of the jungle.
God, Team Liquid knows what I want Golden Guardians to do.
Can they hear us?
Man,
it's stealing our draft
I want to see the first pick Zoe. I want to see the first pick Camille.
All right, well then wait. I mean, what do you want then? If all of those off the table now,
you can't do the Rise Zhonya's BS anymore. It's probably just
Skarner. Probably.
Yeah, I mean it's the lame answer, but it's the highest priority.
What are we
jungler.
missing? There's got to be something we're missing.
We don't miss anything.
You know,
I don't miss anything.
I was gonna say that feeling you feel right now, Jad. That's what we feel like during Jad stats the entire time. And you're like, struggling to.
Of all the champions in the league, what do they pick right here?
Just like, I don't even know all the champions.
Oh man!
All right, so Skarner gets picked up.
That doesn't tell you anything. So.
Right, which is what I was going to say makes this next phase from Team Liquid pretty interesting, because if they're taking counter pick for red side and the enemy team doesn't show anything with their first pick, you're probably going to see support or AD carry with the jungler here.
Yeah, well, so that's one thing that wasn't hit in the ban phase is any AD carries. So like TL had a high priority on Trist before, and then they're just going to pick it. Man, this is going to expectation.
Yeah, very much so. I am glad this is validation after some tough countdowns where you're constantly just
allow it.
No, I mean, clearly no surprises. But back to Golden Guardians again with the Skarner locked in. Granted, that doesn't necessarily determine what their style or strategy is going to be.
So you can still get a power mid right here, but the problem is the power mid I wanted them to get would be Zoe, and there's nothing huge on like maybe the Orianna, and Camille's gone, so that makes Gnar higher priority. priority.
Well, I do like grabbing the Gnar here, and then if you go mid lane, you put a guaranteed pinch out where Team Liquid can only match one of your 2 solo laners, and then you can use your second ban phase to target the other. So I like taking the Gnar.
So
here.
anything but ADC, you say?
Yeah,
take
I
here,
would. Well, not support. I would skip support.
Okay.
Too. I would take mid here potentially, grab both your solo laners, and then start pinching something.
Yeah.
Or they can take.
Or they take the
They
AD
don't want to
carry.
get pinched on AD. That's the problem because
Let him get.
Really? Why? I mean, what do you? Because you get 2 bans. They ban Kalista Varus against Deftly, which he's jumped to, but you're still gonna have
then you would still have Caitlyn open, but that comes on a lot later. Zyra Khan's a possibility. I couldn't believe that we saw Zyra Khan in the 4-5 slot on blue side last game for clutch. But we're not going to see it this game, obviously.
Sion.
Already picked.
Oh, baby.
Sion's got the highest top lane win
Yes.
rate. Dude, Sion has the highest top lane win rate, and you can flex to support because it's got a high win rate down there.
Exactly.
It's also what's great about it is it's another tank in the meta. For the longest time, it's like Ornn's your tank. You're playing Ornn. You're playing Ornn.
And it is one of the tanks that actually can play in Gnar pretty well because of Comet and Shout, right? You actually have the ability to poke a Gnar out.
He has a
Just
really,
scream at him.
as much as we're going to be like, yeah, Sion, new pick, he has a really boring lane phase where you focus on wave clear, you charge a Q up, you hit your E, wave's gone, then you run in circles for 20 seconds before the next
Just kind of
wave
funny
goes.
that Team Liquid's the one that brings that pick out, right? It's not Golden Guardians yet.
I mean, it's an impact pick. I mean, if you cast your mind way back to his Tip days, you had Tip versus Team Liquid, Quas versus him in those epic tank wet noodle fights.
Yeah, I
And that's
really wonder,
regarded.
like, I like Sion as a pick, especially in solo queue. I think sometimes the higher you get in pro, the worse he becomes because he has so much counterplay inherent in his kit. Like, people can dodge your ult if they move in the right direction. People can dodge your Q because of the long charge up time. But he's just a brick. Like, you can't move him. So I'm really curious if other teams were practicing Sion too and if we'll see it later.
Split bans from Team Liquid there. You got the Tom Kench and the Victor coming through. So we saw that fleet footwork for the first time yesterday from Febby. We're not going to see it this time around.
I got a really good tweet reply from Jensen who thinks the Iceborne Gauntlet Abyssal Mask Victor build is too slow for pro play. Like, if you can hit the 10k gold in 3 items, you feel like a god, but it's too slow. I was watching High stream. He was playing the Iceborne Abyssal Victor and loving it.
Gotcha.
So I understand the ban.
Also, the other thing with Sion, while I kind of agree that it, in competitive play can struggle if people are focusing it, it still has a lot of like skill in it that you can find these roams down the bot lane, ult down there, have a high impact play, teleport back up to the top side, and these kinds of things. So
you're one of the tankiest champions in the history of top.
Has like semi playmaking almost on a global scale with the ultimate. So I think it's the kind of thing where if the enemy is not ready for it, you can use it pretty well. And you combo it with the Taric, and you're getting a pretty big
Matt's
ball.
Bard would be an interesting pickup.
I would love Matt's Bard. Let's get an 8th unique support down there.
Well, and in sure, yeah. It's just for the sake of no, of course, Braum would be the pick then. Yeah.
I was watching
less fun.
I was watching Afro play Bard on stream, and it was really impressive when you make the great plays, and then a lot of the time it's just like a team fight breaks out, and Braum presses E and runs and stops about 1 billion damage.
I guess the reason why I would look at the Bard is because, again, if we're trying to find ways for Golden Guardians to pick up advantages in the early game, just getting Matt out of the lane and playing more of a smoothie role could be.
He's going to do Ori, and then I think Pobelter's going to do Corki. Because that's the stuff. There's so many mid lane bans.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Talia was up as well.
And you need so much damage in Team Liquid's build right now because all they have is tanks.
Okay, so as we're seeing these comps kind of locked in, what's your take on it? I mean, is this what you would have expected?
It's way more standard than I would have expected out of Golden Guardians. And to be honest, I don't love it. I like the Orianna pick for high, but I especially like it when they have something that they combo it well with. I feel like the Golden Guardians team generally will need these kind of like easy go buttons, and Skarner kind of is that, Varus kind of is that, but it's not like a wombo that I would like to see a little more of.
I don't know how you kill Team Liquid in team fights. They're
I was about to
so
say, I shudder in fear when I look at the tools that Team Liquid has drafted for themselves to start and stay in fights, right?
Yeah, and like we said, there's a fair amount of playmaking on this team as well. Sion can ult in, you can have the Sejuani just kick things off with that ultimate as well. So they have their own engaged tool as well.
Yeah.
The players swap up the champions, begin to load in. Any final thoughts on the matchup before we hand it off to the cast?
I expect Team Liquid to win.
Yeah. If it gets to a team fight phase, they're for sure going to win.
Okay, there you have it. As we take one last look at the team comps, locked in, the players are loading up, so it's time for us to hand it back over to the casters to get us in the game.
Thank you very much, Dash. Cyrene and I here again to review our second game of the day. GGS versus Team Liquid. Just to cast your minds back a touch for a bit of trivia for this one. Reminder, TL holds some records for fast games this split. The fastest one of this split, again, still held by Team Liquid, was against Golden Guardians the last time they played, 26-28. So there is a win on the line, there's a record on the line. There's a lot here for these two teams. Again, teams start playing each other once more.
Exactly. Having that 2-0 and climbing back up the standings for TL is very important for themselves, especially since they're now going to be 2 games behind whoever wins Echo Fox versus Cloud9.
On the other side for Golden Guardians, picked up a win recently, but looking to solidify that position and try and crawl out from the bottom of the standings. An upset here versus Team Liquid would be a great way to kick that off and end your Week 5.
Oh, it would be a huge upset as well. And we saw some kind of unique things come through here, like Impact back on that Sion from the days of old. Sion right now in solo queue, I believe he's the highest win rate top laner and support with like 55.1%. So he's very big in terms of harassment. It's very hard to push him out of lanes. And you can see Impact has taken the Comet, which his Roar of the Slayer will hit confirm Comet. So if you E and it hits champion or the minion passes through, you will pretty much land that Comet every time. It's mostly for the laning phase, but it's not going to be as effective in team fights. But Sion has so much in his kit later that it doesn't really make a difference which keystone he was running.
Well, we've seen just a Spire take there for Golden Guardians. Contractz
Money.
is on the Skarner, but he has the Predator this time around.
Yes.
So going to see a difference from the spellbook we just saw from Lyra.
Yeah, has Predator, and then I assume it is Celerity and Water Walking. Yes, it is. Just double checked it. And he has Relentless Hunter. Okay, I'm a little disappointed.
He's not ingenious. He is simply relentless.
Just people take Relentless Hunter as their standard after Zombie Ward when you're playing jungle. But I think Revolution needs to come about. Ingenious Hunter, reduce that cooldown.
Well, we'll have to see as Contractz gets some help on the red. Now going to tear down the Raptors. Xmithie, same deal on his blue. They're both bot lanes with similar timings down there to the 2v2. Certainly expecting a decent amount of farming between these two junglers, but particularly with the Predator there for Contractz. Once he has the boots and the spell ready.
Yeah, I assume he'll go for a level 4 clear back by his boots and then try to rush down for a level 4 or 5 gank. And I don't know exactly where he would go for that gank. He could go for to the top side. It would be very effective. Mid lane would be the one that's a little questionable. But gotta watch where this Skarner is going, though.
I think certainly good to check on, kind of up on Contractz. Certainly a player that's played a variety of different champions and styles throughout his still very young career, but always looks good when getting aggressive. We'll see what he can get done on everyone's new favorite meta Scorpion.
Yeah, he's always been...
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on.
Book it. Looks so silly as he kind of dashes away. He does get stunned by Xmithie, tries to turn it back around, but it's a bit of harassment.
Yeah, but they did track him and they did find him, so now the bottom side of the map, they can have that Tristana push up a little bit more, but of course the Varus was kind of the counterpick to Tristana in lane back at Worlds. It was the answer, so... See,
oh, yeah, Varus Born, very strong lane here, but that does not deter Doublelift and Olleh. Stun lands in onto Olleh, but had the armor up from Bastion,
yeah.
So not too much damage done.
But small trades like that really favor Team Liquid because the Braum has no way to sustain outside of the Relic Shield. So that damage will stick, whereas the Taric will just constantly heal up.
And that also with Dematerializer, minion Dematerializer there. So going to donate some over and get a bit of an early XP. I guess it's actually just evening that back out.
Yep.
But again, able to play aggressive, push the wave up. All good stuff here from Golden Guardians who I think is smart to pick more of the aggressive matchup here in the 2v2.
Yeah, and the minion Dematerializer is mostly for you get to roam or have better backs, but also you don't get denied cannon minions and you'll share it with the Relic Shield, so you can't be really denied there. You don't use it. You don't really use it later in the game. It doesn't increase your damage too much as a support against them. So I actually kind of like it because then your AD carry doesn't have to take it and you can have a neutral laning phase. But here it seems really, I would say, defensive from the Golden Guardians bottom lane when this 2-on-2 you would think would favor them in most all-in situations.
So this strikes me as safe as well, which I like. The other thing is nice to see is High kind of bullying Pobelter early on. He has fleet footwork, he's got teleport. Pobelter should be fine, like to going to use that summoner spell to come back to the lane, but haven't seen High get too aggressive in these lanes in recent memories, so certainly the early game is looking good here on a comfort pick for him, of course.
Exactly. They've also been warding up around the mid lane, so he has the confidence to push forward. You can see there's already control ward in his bottom side Pixel Brush, and then these zombie wards that are now just sticking around since there is a zombie ward on Contractz, who now has Predator boots online.
Yep, ready to go with tier 1 boots. That's all you need. As Xmithie trying to get the knowledge there on the left side of the jungle. Wards just to the right of the blue buff there for Golden Guardians. Lourlo getting pushed in the meantime, but going to pick up this wave and even that CS back up. Impact, though, just doing what Sion wants to do. Push the lane and walk away.
Push the lane, walk away. Once he gets 6, you can go for some of those. Ooh.
That was the super extra prediction level.
If he flashes in the way.
He's too used to playing Thrash, man. Oh, hello, Predator. Contractz. Predator on the Contractz, stun lands in, hive the damage out. Pobelter probably going to be forced to flash. No.
Oh.
Held everything.
Yeah, High wasn't able to get over the wall or deal more damage outside of the Q and the E. It doesn't have the ultimate just yet. That's Contract's first gank, the level 4/5 one, coming through for Predator.
Decent amount of pressure. Pobelter did expend his teleport to get back to the lane. High also made his own back, has lost chapter, now finished. Pobelter's got those Sheen components.
Yeah, I do like the restraint that he showed to not blow the flash. That's very important because it's very easy to get somebody's flash and spook them. It just makes it so much easier to go for that repeat gank. Whereas here, it means he's actually just as hard to gank this time as he was before, and you don't even have Predator now. So you're actually at a disadvantage if you were to try and gank him as the Skarner.
Farming up nicely, though, for Contractz. Level 5 to 4 right now. Skarner a little bit quicker around the jungle.
He's fast. He's really fast. That's why one of the reasons I think Skarner is actually played in professional, despite not having a lot of move blocks and stuff. Hold on, though.
Tag on the Doublelift. Dazzle
a lot of
finds
damage.
2. Olleh! Really nice stuff. Definitely a little low on mana, so pressure back in the hands of Team Liquid's duo.
Yeah, and they don't have the sustain that the Taric does. So like we had seen in the last matchup, where there was some sustain on both sides, this one is heavily favored for TL when they take those trades. Just keep having them over and over again, because now you have to rely on lifesteal and the Relic Shield to get back to a healthy point.
Team Liquid's utility duo, Olleh and Xmithie roaming here.
Yeah, they're inside of the red buff here, which is now just respawning.
Surprise Contractz on level 5. Oh, can't see it. Now going to know that it's there. And TL actually back off there.
They back off because Braum is missing, and now High is actually...
Oh, wow! Got just the dazzle almost, but does get the double knockup back. Still the damage a little too much, perhaps, but High just holds on to his cooldowns.
He does use the ultimate, so that is big for him having pressure in that lane.
Doublelift out of there, though. Angers the dragon with the rocket jump splash. But High, you're right, did use the ulti, but holds on to his summoners at least. So decent defense there from Golden Guardians. Contractz able to get 6 and get his red buff.
Yeah, looked like a split call there where High wanted to fight, but Contractz wanted to complete the red buff take. And so on the exit there, it was actually a bit of an advantage there for TL because Pobelter was coming in to reinforce. So High does get chunked, and now he's at a disadvantage here in this mid lane and may need Contractz to come gank.
Yep,
Predator
beating back in. Predator again. Pobelter's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Bulks out of the way. Contractz ease onto Xmithie for the threat, but Xmithie in the right spot there is ultimate there from Impact's going to find Lourlo for a bit of damage, but Gnar shakes it off and starts throwing damage back into the Sion.
Yeah, that global ultimate sound, everybody's just like, what's going on? And then you check and they're just having a one-on-one.
And he's farming.
Yep, air farming.
All right, well, back here for Lourlo, I think. Impact hunting, but not going to find him in any of those brushes. Contractz zipping around, donates the blue buff over to High, and will stay with zeros in the kill columns here. First blood still available for either of these two teams.
Right now, I believe the first package is up for Pobelter, so he's taking it back. And may pick that one up, and it looks like he's thinking about it in the fountain.
Certainly a lot of tools by both these teams to try and get things started. We've seen Contractz twice now with the Predator. Look to make something happen, but not able to do it. We'll see if the package spells similarly there for Pobelter. Also, ultimates here in the bot side starting to tick up, Deftly and Doublelift with theirs. Pretty soon going to join Olleh. So again, lots of ways for Golden Guardians to kind of get stuff started. It's kind of the thing that I think you say of any team that's been struggling, just pick simple stuff and try and force good situations for yourself. That's something that High has done all career long.
And High has been quite effective at that. You know, you go back a few years when he was a very dominant force back on Cloud9 and one of the big shot callers for that team. Now, since then, it's been kind of rough. Retired, unretired, retired again, unretired. And now he's pretty much been in a position where he's been trying to get into playoffs for a while. Well, like FlyQuest, I think, is
they made
last time.
Eked in.
Back in spring.
Been certainly a while here on their new team. Back on the bot side though, farming up a Storm, definitely with Ninja Tubby early, so pretty defensive stuff.
Oh, and the thing I want to talk about with Skarner here was that I think he's picked in pro not because of the fact that, you know, oh, his grab is really oppressive or anything like that, or that his stun was incredibly buff. It's mostly that he has so many options against all the junglers. If the game is going to stall out, he'll get to the point where he's very effective. He'll have that level 6 where he doesn't have to fight level 3 junglers, level 4 junglers, right? And have to compete with them. So he has fallback patterns. He can gank early if he wants to because he has some good ganking tools like the Predator, or he's a better farmer or a faster farmer than most tanks and he still fulfills that role later. You can see here.
Back to Pobelter.
Very aggressive zooming through the mid lane.
Ambitious from Contractz, we'll call that one. But not able to land. Again, still just showing Pobelter what's up, but to his credit, done a nice job just farming things out despite the pressure that Contractz and High have applied to that lane. And Xmithie also shadowing as High. Apparently a juicier target is the tanky Sejuani, but he's back over the wall to his Raptor Pit as well.
Yep, and then it's back to tracking the junglers, and Xmithie did a fantastic job of tracking Reignover yesterday with an incredible vision score. It was actually mind-boggling. It was like over 100 easy. He was doing so much work with his vision score. And so Contractz, you know, somebody who's that aggressive in his play, being tracked throughout his jungle and trying to make these ganks happen, it's just one of those things where up against Xmithie and Team Liquid, who are doing such a great job warding, it's hard to have those ganks stick.
Yep, looks top. Ramsey's head into a control ward. Always frustrating there for a jungler, as both of them have kept up pretty close on farm, which is impressive, I think, on the Xmithie side of the matchup. But pretty slow and steady. 11 minutes through. A whole lot of action as the gold sticks even. Kind of wondering, in general, I think Team Liquid pretty happy to play this slower kind of game. Again, known for a lot of speed this split. Holding that fastest game of the split over their opponents for today, the Golden Guardians. But you know what? I think they're saying, you know what, let's play a little safer, kind of clean things up where it matters a little more, perhaps, in the big game.
And that's what Team Liquid have been missing. Back last week when they played the top 2 teams and lost to both of them, it was a lot of that cleanliness that you're looking for. They didn't win the early game as hard as they would have liked to, and in some cases didn't even win the early game. And even in their last game against CLG, there are some questions about Team Liquid during the mid-game now, about getting that coordination down and seeing what these plays look like. But here comes one out right here.
Ulti on a mat, blocked up with the stun from Olleh after the flash. Dazzle, Impact is here as well. Blocked up forever is taught, Deftly, and first blood over to Xmithie.
Yep, they have a teleport come down, and then they have Xmithie throw the ulti.
Still going, zooming away. Dazzle wears off. Contractz dips out from under the knock-up, though. Rest of Golden Guardians here to maybe force something, but Lourlo with the TP does not use it yet.
Yeah, Lourlo is walking straight down mid lane, though, to potentially help, and then he'll go back towards top, but no contest on the red buff here. It may just be a Drake take.
Yep, see Contractz and the rest of Golden Guardians want to contest this. Instead, it's Predator once again threatening onto Pobelter. Flash there for the ulti. High gonna combo it down. Oh, knocks a little the wrong way there as the stun continues to land over the Pobelter. Lourlo hops on his head for a kill. And now Impact gonna get chased down under the turret. Not too far. No, never mind. Matt tags him with a Winter's Bite. Ulti is gonna miss as Impact flashes out to safety.
And the reason that Contractz went aggressively for that was because Pobelter actually used his Valkyrie in the middle of the lane right before Contractz showed himself. So Contractz shows up right in time, and that Valkyrie cooldown is about 17 seconds very early in the game.
Well, a bit of a Raptor fight. I think I think Xmithie got the big one, but regardless, Smite's burnt and Drake is still on the table. Impact gonna take care of this mid lane wave for Pobelter comes back off the fountain.
Yeah, but it'll be rough for him because the top lane has a wave that's stacked against Lourlo. So Lourlo will pick up some free farm, and I expect him to have a decent advantage afterwards. But nice flash from Deftly, but he still gets picked up here with no flash with the follow-up from Olleh. But does mean Olleh has to burn that flash to make the connection there on the ultimate. They end up getting it. And right here, uses the Valkyrie to try and get away, and that's why the flash comes through. And Pobelter just doesn't flash fast enough, and then he gets stun locked up, and he just gets burst down.
Yep, a little too long on the CC chain as Turret goes there for TL. They pick up that first Taric gold. Nice swap from TL top.
I love that.
Get pressure back.
Because I was just talking about it where there was this big wave up top that Impact is having push into Lourlo and Impact's mid, so Lourlo could freeze and free farm. Team Liquid say, not today, that's not going to happen. They send multiple people up to threaten a dive. So when a big minion wave is stacking, a lot of the times junglers have to watch out for, is this laner going to get dove, even when he's trying to freeze. And I love that TL forced the issue and try to use the wave to their advantage, and they get the turret.
Well, Contractz going to try and get the Rift Herald look to even up the turret score. They can claim it and use it effectively. Package in mid there for Pobelter. As High with his Morellonomicon now completed, playing a little bit more aggressive. Pobelter, though, up a touch in CS, and with his Trinity Force completed, IE there for Doublelift as well, means that the Team Liquid carries are on here for the early game.
Yep.
Rafael, though, over to Contractz. Xmithie spots it, but a touch too late. Xmithie still getting chased. Predator on. Contractz is like, hey, I see a target. Xmithie says no.
No, can't reach him. That's one of the issues with the Skarner. People bring the Predator so that they can just go ahead and rush in. Also, people, when they were running Spellbook, would run like Ghost solo queue. But still, getting in is an issue when you get kited.
Is a classic Impact as a tank. Oh no, never mind. It's a roam down. Lawler's like, this is very unfair. Oh goodness, knocked around the place. Lawler flashes out of the way to try and get the kill, but not gonna grab it.
So when I was talking about Pobelter saving his flash, this is the inverse, where you are guaranteed to be dead. So you don't flash.
Guaranteed death perhaps again. Olleh looking for the stun. Finds it. Knock up though from Braum. Matt still chasing. Stun again high. Exhausted. Good buster shot by the old pullback. Is enough for Olleh. Ultimate way too late. And Matt in supportal combat slays Olleh.
Didn't think he'd have to use the ultimate there, so Olleh takes him a while to drop it down. But down bottom, TL are still going to get more for this as they're trying to take that bottom turret.
So Reptile mid lane going to try and trade somewhat here. Could be an easy chunk here, as Pobelter not going to be able to defend this. Doublelift thinking about something, apparently.
This would be a crazy play. Sejuani.
Oh, Xmithie's here! It's a long con flank. Contractz threatens Pobelter.
He went over.
Back. Stun lands in, and now the exhaustion onto Doublelift, but Contractz pulls one back. It's the tank, though. Xmithie moved back into the team, but now he's actually trapped on the other side after the pull. Ultimate there. Flash from high to follow onto Xmithie. Damage still chasing. Contractz looking for the tag. He finds it. Damage is good. The auto's still there. Needs a little bit more. Blast over Xmithie. He's trying to bait it out of the way, and he zooms back around. Where do you run to, though, if you're Xmithie? Contractz
trying to buy time.
Hunt down Sejuani. Oh, still dead to High.
No assist for Contractz, but High does get the gold, which I think is definitely better to have that Orianna for the shockwaves later.
And now the Mountain Drake. Here for Golden Guardians after chasing down the enemy jungler. Pretty straightforward stuff. Contractz not even really needed. In fact, just throws an Ian and walks away. It'll be Deftly that picks up credit for that kill. Rage Blade now completed, so Varus starting to get there, and things are heating up Zyrene as turrets start to fall.
And Team Liquid, they're dropping the ball here. They had some pressure on the bottom side, and then in mid lane, they're actually trying to simultaneously threaten multiple lanes. And I have to say, Golden Guardians, especially High, one of his biggest strengths, even on FlyQuest last year, was that he knew what skirmishes should look like, how to play them out. And right there, that was a skirmish for sure. Doublelift jumps over, and they're trying to combo the Sejuani ultimate with enough damage to burst out, but it's just not there at this point in the game. And then Contractz able to just grab Xmithie, pull the tank back, and then put him in a bad position. With the jungler down, easy Drake.
I think for as much as Liquid say they want to clean things up, their instincts often say get scrappy. Well, Golden Guardians pretty happy to play that kind of game, I think.
It's the team that goes, we need to clean things up, but they're the ones who made the mess in the first place. They're not cleaning up for somebody else.
That's true. We'll see what happens here as we 18 minutes now through this game. Doublelift in the side lane, getting things done, but doesn't overstay his welcome. He's definitely going to pick up that wave.
Okay, so tiny minor rant here, because I'm trying to sell Ingenious Hunter to everybody on Skarner.
Okay, where's your pitch?
If you're going Predator and you're going Relentless Hunter, you're just doubling down on movement speed. Why not go Ingenious Hunter to reduce the cooldown of Predator in the later parts of the game? And if you're going to go Righteous Glory, which Contractz is, you reduce the cooldown of Righteous Glory, another activatable item, 100%. You should be going Ingenious Hunter here. That is the end of the rule.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Someone's going to listen to you out there, Zyrene.
One day.
I don't play Skarner.
When it's
so
meta,
it's
I will say it was me.
Look at what I did. Well, Contractz still being pretty effective on the Skarner. Takes down that Grump. Level 11 now, so rank 2 ultimates for both of the initiating tanks. Should be up soon. Xmithie still 10 as Lourlo. The Black Cleaver finds Impact once again, but Impact is doing his thing.
Yeah.
0 and 2.
Iceborne Frozen Heart into the Abyssal Mask there. So he's going to have a lot of cooldown reduction later on, and he's going to have the ability to constantly ulti, and he's going to have both resistances and HP. So the tank will be set up with just those 2 items. And I'm very interested to see what happens and develops in this build. Things like Gargoyle Stoneplate may be on the table, or a Warmogs to just have more HP behind the rest of those resistances.
A little tough right now for Golden Guardians. That turret score is kind of sticking out here as TL just playing to their longer lanes here and using the space they built for themselves.
Yeah, that turret score does stick out, but that is the gold disadvantage here, or the difference, because Golden Guardians are only down about 700 gold, which is what you would get from that turret.
So certainly extremely close. And remember that Mountain Drake for Golden Guardians means that when the turrets present themselves to be attacked, Golden Guardians will take them that much quicker. Mountain Drake number 2 also coming up in a few minutes. So just still checking back in on where we are item-wise. 20 minutes through, 2 items for Doublelift. Again, people are going to start to scale up here. This game has been surprisingly slow. I think when the fights have happened, they've been quite scrappy, but teams are definitely taking their time and trying to set things up properly.
Yeah, there are 4 Gathering Storms.
Aha!
Here. So both High and Pobelter have them, as well as Doublelift and Deftly. So, you know, as it goes later, people will just start scaling up even more. Both top laners have Scorch, though, so they were just going for lane priority, not so much the scaling.
Since Lourlo's side has Doublelift really been just freed up to just do this, push that top lane. Lots of good vision there for TL. Olleh's always there in his back pocket, making sure he can protect him. Don't want to go too far forward, though. Looks like Golden Guardian's just very blind on this left side of the map. Again, thanks to the vision TL have built up.
And now we're at that 20-minute point, almost 21 minutes here, where I think both teams have actually been struggling recently to push the pace of the games. Golden Guardians have had some advantages in their games and then haven't been able to close out. Think back a few weeks up against FlyQuest.
Surprise! Oh, it's under the high. Matt gonna try and block it off.
Great block!
He's gonna keep the dive up, but Matt does such good work. Doublelift pulled out. No.
Grab him!
Yeah, there's the grab actually. In onto one as the ultimate wears off. It's Olleh, who already burnt his ulti high. Able to get that kill. And now Lourlo. That was very close for impact. Unstoppably moves his way out from under the wallop.
And that was it again. You saw Team Liquid start off a skirmish, but Golden Guardians, they are a scrappy team. They know how to skirmish, especially with High, and Matt there definitely saving him.
Yep, now going to move back over, clean out this vision, and try and pressure another turret. Lourlo is bot side with his TP ready, and Impact has no ultimate, so Lourlo can kind of get things done here. Golden Guardians maybe hoping to take 1, possibly even 2 turrets with this pressure. But at least at a minimum, they get the kill goal, they clear out some of that vision, and kind of reset that game back as far as map control goes, because that was the struggle they were having.
Exactly. Face checking for that Baron would have been awful for them. But right here, Xmithie goes over, ulties High, doesn't realize that Matt is there, and then Matt protects during the stuns. There was a combo of stuns there, and Olleh already flashed. And Contractz, he did put the ultimate onto Doublelift, but it canceled there because the rocket jump just barely got out of range. That was like a Season 3 nerf Skarner, where people could flash away or rocket jump away, and if you had started and said, like, feel my sting, the animation started, you were just gonna yank them all the way back. I remember so many people raging about that. But not today, doesn't happen to Doublelift.
Yep, you can also no longer teleport into the fountain, so
yeah,
lots of changes from the original Skarner. But here's Contractz again, zooming up, Doublelift, faster shots, knows he needs to be safe, and at least the Contractz did not go on cooldown, so he just grabbed the next nearest person.
And his Predator almost back off of cooldown here, and the Righteous Glory was used in that one. So he keeps alternating, Righteous Glory in one, Predator in the next, and you just keep going back and forth between the two, because the Predator is about, I would say right now it's about 120-second cooldown, and the Righteous Glory is about 90 seconds. So you can alternate and have pretty much one up for each game.
Imagine if he had Ingenious Hunter's Irene.
Then it would be a 60-second cooldown later in the game.
Oh, 2 assists, Contractz not doing too bad, stacking up the, a different Hunter, we'll call it there.
The relentless one, yeah.
Lourlo, saying hello. Impact says goodbye.
I mean, if he's still getting the ultimate out of him, though, that means that it's not up for team fights, and that Impact is playing a little bit scared here. He's down 26 CS, and Lourlo has level advantage. Contractz.
He's at it again, looking for somebody, gets stunned. Oh, he flashed Doublelift. Clubs ready, it's down. The damage is good. High. I'm going to take him down, and now Xmithie caught on the wrong side, going to get stunned up. Barely flashes out.
They got Doublelift with his flash still up. I know there's memes about this, but it's so hard when you're against Skarner, because Skarner's like chasing one person. You're next to that person, and then he targets you instead. It's so hard to just figure out what's going to happen with that, because if you flash, he's still going to grab the other person.
Yep.
So it's kind of a blown flash for something that may have not happened to you. Whereas there, now I'm looking at it like, hey, QSS is an item.
Yeah, I mean, probably going to be up next here for Doublelift, or at least after that 3rd Zeal item. GG's a little indecisive coming off that. I think the pick on Xmithie makes the Baron call very simple, but instead they fall back, they take the bottom outer turret as Lourlo takes that, and they take the Mountain Drake off the table as well, kind of reinforcing this mid-game as they try to take more turrets, and the Baron becomes more and more important.
Exactly, and the double Mountain Drake will help them so much with threatening the Baron, because you can't leave Skarner plus anybody else alone with that Baron, especially a Varus. Varus does a lot of on-hit damage to that big purple worm. So we'll see if they're able to pull anything off like that, because I remember High with the Baron calls a long time ago. Look at this, Contractz, because there's no Buster Shot available, he can't knock him away. It's a great time to go in. That was a really interesting stun from the side, but then he just grabs the person to his left, picks him up, and then Doublelift goes down.
Yep, Xmithie just getting away there.
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation as a carry when he's obviously targeting the support and you still haven't swapped over to I'm now the nearest person. So reacting to it sometimes is something that, you know, you flash for no reason, or you end up going, oh, I should have flashed.
Yeah, because again, if nothing bad happens, then you're even more vulnerable the next time that situation arises.
Exactly.
So TL looking to get that vision back from the Baron. They are doing a nice job again, clearing this out. Still with their top outer turret up, makes it a bit easier. Golden Guardian trying to force a few more objectives down, but again, with double mountain now, and apparently triple mountain on the way is the next Drake here in this game.
Triple mountain is huge. If Golden Guardian's able to get that, that would be just, they would obliterate Baron. You have to have complete vision control of that area, which may promote skirmishes.
Getting aggressive. High with the Banshee's Veil. Happy to face check Sejuani, not something you see too often. Pobelter though, clearing out the wards, got the package ready to drop. Matt is not the target.
Yeah, I like the Banshee's Veil from High because he didn't take Cleanse, he took Heal instead. You normally see Cleanse versus Sejuani jungle because you don't want to get stun comboed as a mid laner, but the Heal will keep him alive in the Corki matchup a little bit better if anything were to happen to him.
Lourlo also continuing to apply pressure in the side lanes. Actually 50 CS ahead of Impact.
Yeah.
Starting to build some tank items after those first standard side lane items with the Black Cleaver and the Frozen Mallet. So all this pressure that Lourlo should be able to apply versus Impact, despite the landing phase going decent. Oh, Contractz moving in again. All he knows is the target. I don't want this. I don't want anything to do with this. Great stun, though. Finishes that off, and looks like the fastest game record will not be broken today. Already past that point, and still very even between these two teams.
Exactly. We were talking about how clean that victory was from Team Liquid the last time these two teams played. Matt with the block.
Another great block there by the Braum. Contractz moves one in, and maybe not the target he wanted. It's actually Xmithie. Pops a stopwatch so the Cosmic Radiance can finish. Lourlo, though, about to get in there. Leaps over the side. Finds Doublelift, but the Buster Shot's massive there, but still, the damage is enough. Deftly takes out Doublelift, and Golden Guardians pile on Team Liquid.
That was the Lourlo that people have been waiting for this split. He had carry duty in the last few games from them. The Alawi, the Camille, this time with the Gnar, beating Impact in the side lane with a massive CS advantage. He shows up to this team fight, and he crushes it as they try to do Baron.
5v4, GG to the wrist of 50-50. They're waiting, they go back in for the fight. Stun there onto Impact, they'll take him down. No, he flashes just barely to safety, but it's not long for this one. Lourlo able to take him down. Impact now back in the passive for Sion. GG's still taking so much damage around this Baron.
How do they stop Xmithie from getting in the pit here? He has Q, he doesn't have flash.
They might just risk it. Looks like they're going too high with a big call. Contractz finds the smite, and Golden Guardians slay the Baron.
They are now 4,500 gold up over the third place team in the NALCS.
7-2 in kills as well. Golden Guardians picking up steam as they take the first Baron of this game.
And you are seeing that skirmishing, that team fighting now coming online. TL, I love Matt stepping up, knowing exactly what he needs to do. Save everyone on his team. Don't back up. And he stays there. Xmithie gets pulled in and has to stopwatch, but I'm loving Lourlo unaffected by the fight. Nobody's really focusing him. He came in and was stealthy. This tiny little Gnar just stacking up the Mega Gnar, bounces off of the head of one of the people in the fight, and then gets a great Gnar scoop on both the carries.
Just excellent use of control there by GG's. It looks like a silly ulti when Contractz does it, but buys him enough space, and then they go back in for the Baron, by Impact, and extended, and goodbye mid-tier 2.
Yeah.
No time for the rest of that replay.
Displacing somebody is such a powerful tool. You pull a tank forward, the tank in that line is now overextended, and if the backline wants to threaten, they have all this room now where the enemy backline can collapse on the tank and threaten your backliner simultaneously. So I really love the positioning that Contractz went with there, and grabbing the frontliner seems counterintuitive, but it's something that you should be doing as Skarner a lot of the time. And now you're seeing the fear of that in Pobelter and Xmithie, both now with QSS.
There's so much fear of this Skarner at this point. QSS is done on 2, Xmithie and Pobelter with 1, but Doublelift, 3 items done. I'm expecting a QSS next. Maybe he makes a stop off for the last Whisper. We'll see how he feels about it, but those 2, I assume, are the next few items here for Doublelift. I don't know what kind of questions we'll have if we don't see that. But for now, we'll move back to Golden Guardians. 50 seconds till that Mountain Drake is back up. A minute 35 or so on this Baron, and 3 turrets to 2 as Lourlo. Good pressure onto that bot side. Top outer still the easy target to attack, so Golden Guardian's going to try and get that turret lead and continue to grow it.
Exactly, it was 2-1. Now it'll be 4-2 if they're able to pick that one up. And TL are trying to do damage control here.
Surprise! Oh, no surprise.
Nope. Their games lately have been rather
Sneaky Contractz.
scrappy.
Clears out the ward. Outer turret goes down in top side. 4 turrets to 2 now, looking for another.
And then they might reset and go for that Mountain Drake. It'd be the 3rd Mountain Drake. They shred turrets right now. You can see they're saying, all right, group up, make sure nothing happens. And it's a rotation here, even with the Baron buff on for a minute longer.
Maybe just wanting to secure that Drake, do the simple stuff
100%,
here.
yeah. Helps them with the turrets, too. That helps you close the game. A lot of Drakes will help you team fight or get around the map or sustain. This one definitely helps you kill those turrets, so less time is required in a siege.
Yeah, of course, Baron and Future Dragons as well. As looks like we'll get one more, just about. GG's able to take that one down. Oh, never mind. Can't do math. Elder Dragon up next.
Yeah, 6 minutes then.
Oh, it is 6. All right, well, so
Hey, man.
started here from Contractz.
Earlier today, I talked about a Zoe passing Q through a minion that was on her own team, so we all get one, man.
All right, that's my one for today. You will never see another mistake. That's all right,
And
GG
casters.
cleaning out the right side jungle. And again, Lourlo prepping the waves here for the tier 2. So a few seconds left on Baron, just trying to use this position to take the turret.
Well, speaking of Lourlo, he's almost 100 CS up over Impact. And hold on, grabs him. USS.
All right, something happens again. Cosmic Radiance burnt. Matt with an ulti, a little defensive. Who's going to get moved in high? Massive shockwave, a double lift. Rocket jumps out of the way. Still, the tank's getting a little low. Contractz, no sting available, but they're just powering through these turrets.
Able to push him back.
Lourlo. He's getting in there. Trying to be a big boy. Doesn't
Yes,
quite get it. Scoop in. Scooped on back, and Pobelter forced to flash. So much committed as Matt blocks again with the Unbreakable. Ult there back in onto one. It's high. He goes down. Golden Guardian's a little too far forward. Matt goes down to Olleh. Contractz goes down to Xmithie. I think definitely, I don't think he can
Doublelift is
escape this
faster.
either. Does have his splash, going to run back towards Lourlo. Probably forced to burn it. Going to keep moving in. No, it's not enough. Definitely, he had it, but he knows he's dead.
And that is huge for Team Liquid. The pressure was on them. DL, they're going to have Impact TP to the top side to try and get a turret.
Stretch too far here. Cost Golden Guardians a lot. 4 kills and Impact TPing for this turret as well.
They have 3 Mountain Drakes. You don't have to force the fight that hard. They got caught with their hand. I wouldn't even say their hand. Their arm was in that cookie jar.
Lourlo, he felt the big play before. But that one cost his team a lot. Pobelter takes the mid outer. Tier 2 is going to die to Impact's TP play. These minions just too numerous to defend it. And even another.
And they go just like that to even up the turrets. Team Liquid back in this game. They're actually going to take the turret advantage. They just slaughtered all of the outer turrets.
And now 1,000 gold between these two teams. We're at about 5K before that action. Ruined a lot of the plans here for GG's. Contractz is hoping somebody stuck around, but did not.
Nope, Scorpion Legs can't skitter fast enough. Can't catch Pobelter. And this here, Lourlo is going so far forward. I feel like the play is delayed too much by Olleh. And right there, Contractz grabs Xmithie, QSS comes out, and then the Cosmic Radiance is down here. I like high Shockwave, but it's not enough to catch Pobelter or Doublelift in it. They take some damage, but then they just reset the fight. They back up. They say, okay, time to seed the objective. But Lourlo was having none of that. And after that last play he made in the previous team fight, he gets a little too hypey. Doesn't get the stun onto Pobelter there, but Pobelter still goes for the QSS flash to get out of it. And then over the shoulder there, the Xmithie Sejuani ultimate catches high right as he went to the front line.
And again, with ultimate already used, tough stuff there. Definitely does get chased down by Doublelift. You can see how much damage TL are finally able to do in a team fight.
Yeah, not everybody can run as fast as, Gnar leaping in and flashing and following. So TL just had a way better positional advantage there on that latter half of the fight. Now they've got map control with all those outers down. And there's 40 seconds on Baron.
Yeah, that's probably the big deal here. TL don't have 3 mountains of their own, but still enough Baron damage between the Corki and the Tristana high, trying to get this pushing back the right way for them.
And now QSS is for Doublelift. So this means that you can't even go for one of those big flash plays from Contractz to try and catch one of those big carries. He's going to have to go after somebody like Olleh or even Impact, who is incredibly tanky right now with the Gargoyle Stoneplate.
Well, 10 seconds after that Baron. Golden Guardians with the game much more even than they would have liked. Gonna try and get Lourlo some time to pressure up. In fact, though, unstoppable in the front line. Matt is the target. Contractz ready and squirt. Matt bought the flash, but he gets knocked up on the other end of it. Decent glacial fitter, but it's just not enough. Tanky and a shockwave only finds the front line of Olleh. He's got out of there. And there's the Gnar from Lourlo. Finds the warp on the other side. Look at a 1v1 Pobelter. Lourlo might be able to get it done. Just swipe him down and takes down the Corki. Golden Guardians lose map, but they turn it all the way around. Doublelift goes in too aggressive. Impact is left out. He flushes out. He's the only one left.
Lourlo with the mid-fight TP. He was splitting and they couldn't match it, so they set up the play. TL jump on it, and then he turns it around.
It looked so bad when Matt died, but now it looks so good once more for Golden Guardians. They will melt this Baron.
With 3 people, that's all it takes. They can even have the AD carry tank it up. That is another Baron there for the Golden Guardians.
This game, big swings continue in this one as we'll watch Matt here.
Yeah, TL, they really wanted to start this because they're going to get split pushed down because they don't have TP really, except for Pobelter. But Matt blocking, stopping it from happening. I like the grab there from Contractz to force Olleh back, but look at that TP in the middle of the fight. What is that ward doing there? It's been there the whole time, and Lourlo gets a great Gnar onto the backline, forcing their QSSs and whatever remaining flash Doublelift had there, but Doublelift goes in and gets immediately bopped.
I mean, he tries, he knows he has to salvage the fight. Impact, the only one left alive, using his flash, and how quickly the tables turn. Look at those damage graphs as Golden Guardians win a decisive fight.
Yeah, even though the damage for Lourlo is low, he's still buying time for Deftly and high. One of the things about Varus is he is such a high DPS carry, especially when somebody drops and he gets his passive, but he needs people to buy space for him. He's immobile, but he is one of the, I would say, less appreciated pieces of artillery in a team fight.
Well, definitely played a lot of Cogmore in this season. Varus kind of following suit there with 4 items already built up. TL still strong, gold difference now back in the favor of Golden Guardians, but at this point it's kind of just about the execution. Contractz zooming in again. Who's he gonna find? No one is the answer.
Elder Dragon is up now. Golden Guardians have those 3 Mountain Drakes, and you can see Pobelter is shoving mid, trying to put the pressure onto Golden Guardians, saying, you have to take this.
They're gonna start it, they have to, they know. This Dragon's dying so quickly as well. Xmithie, I don't even know if he can get in to try and find a steal. Walks in there, looks for it, no, Skarner having to take it down. Golden Guardians empowered now as the Golden Guardians whipped out. Xmithie misses his ulti, he does get invulnerable, but now Lourlo gonna hop over. Contractz there as well. Stone lands in, 4v5 for 50 seconds.
And this is a huge play for Golden Guardians. They have the Baron buff for 1.5 minutes. They also have this Elder Dragon with 3 Mountain Drakes.
All right, need to do some damage here on the map. Lourlo back down to that bot side, getting the wave going. Liquid trying to cut off these waves, get them out, kind of deny that Baron effectiveness for as long as they can.
And they have been in a very rough spot pretty much all game long, ever since the mid-game came about at 20 minutes. TL, they have been trying to pick fights that they have no business trying to pick. And when they could get a slight advantage, they end up dropping down just a bit. It happened with turrets earlier. Now here with the Elder Dragon, this is where they're just so far behind, they have to contest it.
And that's the thing, I mean, they know they have to go, but...
Yeah, I don't feel like you win that fight unless you get a steal to prevent all of that burn damage. And the fact that they only lost Xmithie is probably the best they could even hope for there.
And impressive from Golden Guardians. Look at this gold grab. Hugely far ahead. Well over the 6K mark there, and then dropped right back down. But to their credit, just said, all right, we made a mistake, we messed up. Time to just pick it back up, play to the map that advantage we built for ourselves, and then execute when it matters. Another 50-50 objective steal. Objective fight goes the way of Golden Guardians, and now they're going to finally try and break it in here. That is a very, very speedy Skarner. Zones out the entire bot lane of Team Liquid. That turret's dead. Oh, that's gross. Impact ultis as Contractz tried to use the Sting. Immunes it, but they still lose the inhib.
Guess you don't need QSS if you're just, good at the game. That's all.
He's also insanely tanky.
Yeah, even if he got it, still probably wouldn't be able to drop him with the Gargoyle Stone Plate. But right now, we're looking at some absurd ward scores for both Xmithie and Contractz. Over 120 for both of them. And Contractz keeping pace here on this Skarner when Xmithie had an incredible game yesterday.
Yeah, there's something in the assist column here for Skarner today. Contractz with 10, and only that 1 death here, enabling so much here for his team. GGs need to play a little safely. They realize this time, back off, no Baron left. Elder Dragon's wearing off, so no need to force. I'll just let the super minion pressure give them the next 5 minutes of map advantage.
Yep, have somebody go top, pick up this enormous wave, and then push out top and mid, and then rotate to that top turret would be the game plan for Golden Guardians now that they have a 7,000 gold lead here over TL. But this gold will mean less and less because TL are now sitting at some full inventories here, pending that QSS upgrade.
High with it, very satisfying clear of the creeps here. Matt here to help. Pick up some relic shield charges for himself, but High very close to his 6th item there, that Void Staff almost done.
That's why they gave him the big wave. Normally you'd have somebody just pick that up if they need the gold, and I think that might actually get him there. Yes, it does. It gets him to that Void Staff. So High is at 6 items, and the very crucial one that he needed to pick up was the Void Staff, especially since there's some QSSs for some MR. It definitely kind of counters that out.
Yep, Lourlo's full. Deftly's getting close, has his own QSS actually, and in general, Golden Guardians kind of pushing this game pretty far. Lots of gold on both sides, so people are getting full up on builds. Doublelift actually done as well.
Gathering Storm.
Oh,
it's 4 tickets come in for the 4 members that have it in this game.
It's only a joke for as long, and then it becomes extremely relevant.
Yeah, it's
when
just
the games get pushed.
because you enter those mid parts of the game and you're like, well, Scorch didn't really win me the lane.
No.
And I wish I had Gathering Storm here.
Yeah, but certainly Dragon Tilt wins you the game pretty much. Golden Guardians poised to do that perhaps if they can play this end game correctly. TL have shown some good tenacity holding on in this game. 1 inhib down isn't the worst thing in the world, but it is a pretty bad one to have down with Baron spawning in a minute 10. Golden Guardians still on the assault. Looking to knock down this tier 2 in top lane. Actually the last one left for Team Liquid to defend.
Haven't been able to get this just yet, but with those triple mountain drakes, they even start dealing damage to it before the minions are there for the backdoor bonus to drop. And now Team Liquid, the question is when do they make their final stand? Because it's getting to that point where the item's very close.
Pobelter dealing with his supers, does a pretty good job with 4 damage items and a QSS.
Yeah, and they take extra damage from magic damage, so the Corki is one of the best people to actually deal with it.
Pack, throwing things out. But again, Golden Guardians know that for them, this game will be won or lost on this next Baron.
Exactly. And I feel like Golden Guardians, we saw a bit of it where they were overzealous on the bottom lane. They are eager, they are hungry to get their 2nd win and show improvement in the league, because up until that win that they got last week, people were saying, yo, maybe they won't even get 3. But
Oh, he gets him! Impact though doesn't burn the ultimate, he's gonna get stunned back up. Pops the Stone Blade in time though. Damage still there, Pobelter's zooming back in with the package, Cosmic Radiance there! GG's maybe need to reset this fight. High still with the Shockwave ready. They got some good cooldowns there actually.
yeah, got some great cooldowns. And Pobelter still has the package though, so taking a Baron, not 100% secure for Golden Guardians here.
Still the tempo to get aggressive here. Blast going to get taken out. Oh, not yet. High wants to save it.
Impact has teleport, he has the ultimate. He's just gonna rush down because they aren't going for the Baron just yet.
Contractz again, ult cooling down about halfway through. Gonna play it safe here. Ooh, they might do this again. Start it with a 2-man, they will. It's Matt and Deftly.
Yeah, it's kind of the fake where it looks like we aren't
They
doing
can't
Baron.
see anything. What are you gonna do?
You want to be having your tank zone?
Wow.
Great.
Really well played there by Golden Guardians. Again, you talked about it, wanting to not take too much risk, not be too eager. That was a very smart way to approach that, and Baron just falls over to Golden Guardians in their triple Mountain Drakes.
And now they get to once again siege. That bottom inhibitor, though, is coming up shortly. So they'll have to kind of go back to the drawing board, and they won't have as many super minions here, so they can push mid, top, and then when the bottom respawns, they can go ahead and rotate over there. But this has been a chore for them, cracking the base to the point that now we do have 6 items completed on Doublelift, where he's full build, and Pobelter is about to be there with just a little more gold. And so the big carries are online for Team Liquid, and Corki in the late game, you have to watch out for those big magic crits.
Exactly. There's kind of 1 or 2 steps left here for Golden Guardians, but the game really has equalized at this point. We've been impressed so far with the execution that the Golden Guardians have shown, but we never want to play a game where it's 1 or 2 team fights away from going either way. We're getting very close to a coin flip.
It's very close. Like you said, I love that description. It is basically a coin flip. We're almost there. Of course, it's a little favored for Golden Guardians, but they can't be nervous coming into this. I know they're hungry for that win, but they can't be too eager, but at the same time, they can't be too relaxed.
No, just can't give opportunities. Take the advantages we find. Execute well in these fights. And so far, so good, except for that one hiccup that they righted very quickly. Golden Guardians, 2 minutes of siege power. Looking top and mid. Bottom is back up, but the wave is stacking for them as well. Lourlo getting chased down by Doublelift, who's doing a pretty uncomfortable amount of damage, I think, for Lourlo. Redemption down here.
They want the turret.
Don't play for Contractz. They will get the turret. Nice break on the base. Not too much committed. Looking for the inhib. Gonna find it.
It's a great focus. Xmithie used the ultimate onto Contractz when Contractz was looking for an engage, and instead he was just soaking, and everybody else was going for the turret. So Contractz bought space.
Gotta be
even though he was
careful.
engaged on.
No, no one gets hit. Oh, Matt actually does just get tagged, but he's okay. High pressing up forward, but realizes that's the wrong way to go about it, and TL finally have to answer this massive wave in the bot lane. Lourlo even gonna get it going again.
Yep, Lourlo, they're on duty right now. Over 140-ish, 133 CS up over Impact here.
Really smart synchronized wave push here. GG's no, it's not long left. Alright, getting aggressed on Deftly, playing up in the face. Impact dives in for it. Contractz are pretty tanky. Matt puts up the Unbreakable again. Ultimate out. Cosmic Radiance. GG's needs to kite it out. Damage on the Pobelter though, who didn't actually get the ultimate. And now the damage is there. High. Pulls the front line back in. Impact down to High. And he's going to go down. Zombie Form will not do much. 4v5 for a minute.
And now they're just going to force this down. They don't need minions. They're going to get 3 inhibs.
That's 1. Maybe make it 2 more, like you said. Complete the triple. Golden Guardians mid inhib already down. This one's going to go, and it'll be 1 more step for Golden Guardians to upset Team Liquid.
I mean, there's 40 seconds on Impact. They have some minions. They're still going to back up.
Playing it safe. Golden Guardians know. The worst way to lose a game is when you think you've got it all sewn up. Baron off in 30 seconds, maybe don't have enough time, and the Elder Dragon is going to force a make-or-break situation in a minute, as Team Liquid cannot afford to give it away.
Wow, the fact that they take their foot off the gas pedal there is huge. And Impact, he's looking for High, but Contractz gets in the way. Golden Guardians, despite not seeing a Sion for so long in professional play, they 100% know who needs to block, who needs to take it, and sacrifice their body. That was great from High. The shockwave to follow up. And I bet he's probably telling Contractz and Matt, you know, body these fools.
Yeah.
Actually, physically put your body in front of me. Body
Save me!
Impact.
Well, working out so far. Oh no, Contractz! Finds Xmithie, no QSS up right now. Contractz looks for the stun, does not commit the ult. He did have it.
Yeah, I don't think he knew that the QSS was down.
How are you supposed to know? My goodness. Deftly and friends doing the deeps in that last fight. Elder Dragon's up in 5 seconds. Impact with the TP, but triple waves of super minions. Gonna force TL back into the base. They're in mid lane. Time to make a choice, Liquid. What do you want to do?
It looks like Pobelter, he's trying to get the package.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
No time at all to set up a play. So the Elder Dragon empowered Golden Guardians are gonna push into Liquid's base for what they hope is the last time this game.
And the only thing that would make Golden Guardian stronger is a Baron. So this is as powerful as they will ever be in this game here.
1 fight left in it for the Golden Guardians.
They have to play it correctly. So far, we have seen standouts from Matt for blocking, Contractz for the grabs, Lourlo with his ultimate, and same with High. And Deftly's been that silent performer with the damage because everybody's buying him space. So far, Golden Guardians have had some great moments.
That Contractz goes in, wants the impact, Cosmic Radiance pop, but is maybe not going to reach him in time. Matt with a decent ulti, his Doublelift leaps in, going to try and make it happen. The redemption is there, shot down onto High, but Lourlo still making it happen. They take down Doublelift. The fight's still going, Deftly low, but he's healing up so much. Finally dies on the other end, but Liquid just don't have enough left.
Golden Guardians are winning the fight. They're going to get Olleh.
Olleh dead. It's no carries, but probably not necessary. Nexus turret 1 goes down. A 2v3. The super minions there. The Nexus turret's exposed. And Golden Guardians on the verge of the upset, focusing down the Nexus ever so slowly. But Team Liquid, they just don't have it. Lourlo takes down Xmithie. They get the Sion, they revive him, and Guardians pick up their second massive win over Team Liquid.
That Nexus health bar was just a formality. You could tell they wanted to leap out of their chairs immediately, and the Golden Guardians get their second win of the season.
Yeah, that might have been hands up keyboard. Let the minions do the damage right at the end of it. An explosion of smiles across the faces of the Golden Guardians. What a way to end their week after finally picking up a bit more momentum in the second half of the split.
They had been close before. They got their first win up against, I believe, 100 Thieves. And now they've taken down Team Liquid, the 3rd place team. And it was looking grim for Golden Guardians. They were 1-8, which was 2 games back, 2 wins back from that pack of 3 teams tied for 7th. Now, they've started to climb and ascend slowly, and now they're only 1 behind that little cluster.
Talk about turning things around. Last time these two played, don't forget, TL speed ran them in the fastest game of the split, and Golden Guardians say we're a whole lot better than that. Every single team is powering up as these rematches happen. My goodness, it's going to be an exciting end to this season.
Some of these teams are powering up and you're seeing the teamwork come through, but then there are other teams where when another team is having their teamwork on point, a lot of the flaws in communication and teamwork are exposed and kind of revealed for everybody.
Well, for more on that Golden Guardians win, let's go to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Bridge. Trying to figure out how to make like a symbol to be like, hey, Golden
Guardians arrive.
2-8.
Well, it's impressive how they did it, most importantly. It's like, we expected Team Liquid to smash. We were talking about the team comps and how, like, oh, there's not these easy, like, wombo combo things. They do have some go buttons, but we felt like they needed more. But they kind of showed that, no, we don't need more. We can actually beat them just like this.
Yeah, we said at the end of the draft that we thought if it went to, like, a late game, even gold team fighting stage, that it would actually be Golden Guardians that loses and Team Liquid that wins, but that was wrong, actually. Because I think especially with how hard Skarner was to kill on top of the Braum shielding a lot of the Corki damage for pass-through, they had a better front line at the end of it, and we just predicted that part of it wrong, but watching the early game, they also were able to generate a lot of advantages through Skarner.
Yeah, the Skarner pick was huge. It felt like Team Liquid was a little slow building their QSSs, as well as just respecting what the Skarner could do. And so,
definitely slow on the QSSs. Doublelift needed it in the mid-game.
Yeah, but you saw just how effective the Skarner was here, just with the Ori able to speed him up and able to find a single target, pull him back in, and then it just kept happening over and over again. Like, here's another tank, great. We initially survived the dive, then we kill one member, and they kept getting small advantages like that.
I mean, it's just more and more evidence as to why teams are comfortable first picking, blind picking this champion, because at a certain point, you're fine pulling a frontliner in. It's not about having to flash to the back line and pick somebody up.
His clear speed is the fastest of all junglers in role, so no one is able to punish him early. And I think the Predator is what's making him first pick worthy, personally, because he then also has just as much ganking presence early game as a lot of these guys. So kind of a sleeper pick for most of the season, but it's super good now.
Now, Mark, you said more impressive than the fact that Golden Guardians got their second win was the way in which they got their second win. And this is where I want to take a look at a couple replays here. 30 minutes in, around the Baron, Golden Guardians showing some prowess.
And we were throwing some shade at Clutch Gaming just the previous game where they find a good team fight and they get a pick off and then don't do anything with it. Here, a very similar story for Golden Guardians. It's a really hectic fight. Lourlo builds up that Gnar, gets the perfect hop over the wall to get the double carry backline in a situation that leads to the kill on Doublelift. But then after this kill is where it gets really impressive because they show the aggressiveness you need to close games out.
Exactly. You need to force around Baron when you have the numbers advantage and you also have good things to initiate. So they're forcing Team Liquid into stopping this. And I actually like the peel at 1600 health because that's the absolute break point where Xmithie would be tempted to fly in and Team Liquid's going to be taught in that analysis paralysis or caught in that. And Golden Guardians gets another kill, goes back to Baron again, and they just keep doing this dance. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, so you don't need to necessarily just brute force Baron because you got a pick off, but you have a power play then. You can make more plays happen, and just resetting and going back and these kinds of things that a lot of the mid-tier teams feel like they're doing. Golden Guardians actually did better here with a lead.
Right, doesn't mean they weren't without their faults, though, because not 2 minutes later, they did hand 4 kills back to Team Liquid in the bot lane. It just kind of goes to show how messy this game was as a whole.
And this is kind of why Jad and I were like, oh yeah, this definitely favors Team Liquid late because they have Tristana, Corki backline. This should be great, and if they don't get onto their carries, they could be in trouble. Nice buffer by Doublelift. He still doesn't have a QSS at this point because with his 1300 gold, he decided to buy a Last Whisper, which from behind is the right thing to do. You're no longer worried about getting pulled into a team fight to die. You need to be able to do damage late game to carry or to tanks that have armor. And so the Last Whisper comes up huge in this fight, allowing them to come back in the game.
And this was pretty much the only fight where High didn't find effectiveness. The Shockwave was buffered by both carries, and then he got caught by the Sejuani ultimate into the Sion Q. So that's kind of what allowed Team Liquid's 80 carries to do the damage to Golden Guardians, because every other fight, actually, it was High zoning out Pobelter and Doublelift.
And Deftly had a huge game on the Varus pick in general. It was something that Zyrene did a good job pointing out during the cast, where Varus' damage is actually no joke when he's able to get involved, and that's where he struggles, is because he has to be so worried about engages. But the huge front line that Golden Guardians has, as well as the somewhat lackluster engage on Team Liquid side, means that Varus can free hit the tanks, and with Ori shields and all these extra shields protecting their tanks, they actually live longer.
Right, aside from that massive dip at 32 minutes, a very clean gold graph for Golden Guardians. So on that road towards improvement, we'll see if they can keep it up in the remaining weeks here. We're going to send it down to Deftly, though, who's standing by with Golden Guardians top laner, Lourlo.
Thanks, guys. Lourlo, congratulations on that win. Now, this is picking up the first win for the second round robin of the half of the split. Is this a new beginning for the Golden Guardians?
Yeah, I guess a little bit, but I think the main thing for me personally is just getting a win versus my former team. Like, it feels just like my day is made. Like, it's probably could be like one of my happiest days of my life, to be honest, just getting a win versus them. So I'm really excited, and I'm just super happy and ecstatic.
Now, what can you tell me about playing as an underdog and the mentality of that? Because Golden Guardians had a rough split, and you were also on Team Liquid when they were having a tough time.
Yeah, so I tweeted that we're gonna do our best to win today, and a lot of there's 5 or 4 messages saying we had 0% chance to win. So people like that definitely hurts, but I think going forward we're gonna be a stronger team. It's just focus on ourselves and keep improving. So.
Well, I mean, now they have tweet proof to show that they know nothing. But for you, what was the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome this split?
As always, is just meshing with my team, because I came from TL, which I was pretty comfortable on for 2 years, and I kind of knew what my role was. So it was a lot of just finding what I did properly before, and then moving it to this, and then learning new things, and just integrating myself to the best person I could be for this new team.
Well, congratulations. I wish you the best of luck with your new team, and back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Deftly. Pretty reserved.
Yeah,
there
kind of
from
cautious
Olleh.
optimism from him, saying first win in the new round robin, great, but I'm not ready to go out there and be like, playoffs, here we come.
Right, exactly. I mean, what does this do for either of you in terms of your confidence level around Golden Guardians, rather picking up more wins in their remaining 8 games?
It makes me more confident in that I put them over 3.5 wins several weeks ago for the year.
Yeah, I'm a little
Would
nervous.
you say they have more than a 0% chance?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the big thing is just that you can't kind of just limp into these games versus Golden Guardians, which feels like how some top teams think about. Let's just pick Corki Trist, we'll outscale, get us a front line, yada, yada, yada. It's you can't approach Golden Guardians this way anymore.
Getting a refresher on the standings here after 2 games today. We take a look at the Golden Guardians picking up their 2nd win, but more importantly, it's that Team Liquid sliding down into a tie with Clutch Gaming at 6-4.
Tied for 3rd and for 4th.
Yep.
Team Liquid's worst nightmare has happened so far. They're 1 game away from being 5-5. That is not the result they actually wanted, especially after having that super hot start. I mean, Team Liquid has now lost 3 of 4.
Right, exactly. They won their first 5 of 6, so off to a really hot start, and then here we go, losing 4 in a row.
I mean, especially for Doublelift.
3 out of the last 4, yeah.
I think Doublelift at one point ranked Clutch Gaming as the 9th best team in the LCS. He didn't think they'd have anything going for him. So there's a lot that isn't working for Team Liquid right now. I think there are a lot of problems with the top lane there, right? There was the blind Gnar that they had the Camille bound out of. The Sion actually didn't work that game. Impact has had a pretty poor 2 weeks in a row. And then on top of that, all that Pobelter MVP hype, he's been a non-factor in the mid lane, right? They didn't improve at all from what they were when they started with 5 out of 6 wins.
Their identity feels a little bit lost right now. Luckily, their next couple matches aren't too tough. Fox is going to be a obviously very difficult battle, but after that, the other teams are the ones fighting for playoffs right now. So hopefully you can find some momentum, some identity that's going to be consistent through the rest of the season.
What should Team Liquid's identity be?
It's
bot lane,
actually. That's what you think, and maybe a little bit more proactivity in the early game. They really didn't have anything to do. You can have Sejuani gank, but your bot lane doesn't really win. Your mid lane's a farm matchup, and your top lane's a farm matchup. So what's your early game plan here? Because Team Liquid was at their best when they were smashing kids.
And Team Liquid is another one of these teams who know what they're best at, and I think have been trying to do something else. They picked red side, got it multiple times, were going for a top lane counter pick, not trying to play around bot. Because I think they know they can beat most teams like that, but they're probably not going to win the split like that.
Right.
So I think they're using the regular season here to try and build up those other strategies.
That's the forever debate, right? Is whether or not, you cruise or coast through the regular season doing what you know works, what you know you can, garner some wins with. but hey, maybe we'll be thin on the strategies moving into playoffs as a result, or do we put in the work now but take a few losses on the road there?
Yeah, losing all the games now probably puts them out of contention for a playoff bye. So, like, you can say regular season doesn't matter, and the difference between 3rd and 6th doesn't, but the difference between 3rd and 2nd actually does. So I think by doing this, they're kind of taking themselves out of the conversation for that playoff bye later.
All right, there you have it. Team Liquid on a struggle, on the struggle bus. At the moment. Coming up, we've got Echo Fox versus Cloud9. And if you're looking for a pro's perspective on that matchup, make sure you tune into Riot Games 2, where Kobe, Sven, and Xmithie will be bringing you the game from the NALCS Lounge. That first place match kicks off after the break.
Matt blocks him with the stun from Olleh after the flash dazzle. Impact is here as well. Blocked up forever is Paul. Deftly. About to get in there. Leaps over the side. Finds Doublelift, but the Buster Drop's massive there, but still the damage is enough. Deftly takes out Doublelift.
Penalty now. Orianna. Braum. Gonna go this way after.
Hey, can we get top?
I can keep going. Keep going. They're low. I'm on Corki.
Corki's 1 HP. Corki's 1 HP. Corki. What the
Before. I'm a Taric.
Nice.
Malin decent. All these Doublelift leaps in. Gonna try and make it happen. The redemption is there. Shot down onto high. But Lourlo still make it happen. They take down Doublelift. Oh, we fucking did it. And Guardians pick up their second massive win over Team Liquid.
Welcome back to Remember This. Back in 2016, we saw the fastest match in NALCS history. In under 20 minutes, we saw Team Immortals decimate Team Impulse. With a strong momentum during the entire game, Immortals ended the match 10-0 at 18-15.
Absolute perfection in this game. Both Nexus turrets down. 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Raid over, trying to stay alive. The Nexus is low. Can they do it? A perfect game in 18-15 for Immortals.